Hey everybody, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We are playing some sweet, sweet Bearing of Torches here. I'm your GM, sometimes lover, Eric, and join with me here is Naja, Steven, and Andrew, and we are bearing some torches in a custom-made adventure of mine that kind of takes place in sort of a Firewatchy, Yosemite, Shoshone style region. And I believe we're going to be looking for some goats or so. But, hey, so the voting is over. The poll is closed. And the winner is the bighorn. So we're getting some magic. We're getting some spookiness here. So this is pretty awesome, everybody. So we're at camp. You guys are resting at night. Above in the sky, a meteor shower starts opening up. It's a super fast meteor shower and very high intensity. It just seems to be just almost like a machine gun of
constant meteors.
Yeah, shooting across the sky. After a few moments, the last sort of meteors kind of trickle by. Above in the sky is the constellation of the Bighorn. Dun dun dun. So, okay. That's basically what we see. So this camp is actually really nice. There's no like events for you guys or anything like that. You have a check to spend. We can go ahead and do that if you want.
So I can spend this check to remove my afraid condition?
Yes, you can spend it to try to recover that. Yes.
Right.
There is a test you need to do to recover your afraid condition. I believe
it says
you already drank your wine, right?
Will. Yeah, I did drink my wine, yeah. But I refilled my bottle with water.
Yeah. Well, you can certainly do that. I was just wondering because wine actually gives you an advantage to recovering from being afraid.
Nice.
So,
hey, sorry, I have a cat who's occasionally just attacking the shit out of my legs. It's okay. It's okay.
Everything's fine. Everything is fine. Yeah. No, you
so
guys...
like, Obs 3 will test. I have 4 will, which is that's a challenge. Could I use my thoughtful trait in order to give myself a +1 die?
Yeah, for recovering, but how? What does that look like?
I mean, I'm just trying to like think of all the advantages I could possibly bring in. I mean, like one of the things I would do is sort of like, I'm afraid, so I'm going to go off on my own and like just spend time alone with my thoughts, deep in reflection, right? So that's how Ahab deals with his fear. So that's how I would bring thoughtful in on board.
Okay.
And then theoretically, I could also use persona to add 4 nature.
Theoretically, so are you?
My nature descriptions are boasting, demanding, and running, and none of these are really what I'm doing right now.
No, but
I'd be spending nature.
Yeah. So what would happen is that your nature score goes from 4, which is at what it's currently, and when its max is, it will go down to 3 after you spend it. The maximum. No.
Okay.
It's 3 out of 4.
Got it.
If you should ever spend all down to 1 out of 4 and spend that last one, then your nature actually will permanently decrease to 3. It refreshes, and you should usually at that point change a trait of some kind.
Got it.
Based on what's going on, usually.
Yeah, so I really don't like being afraid because I want to be able to help. And I also want to be able to use beginner's luck because it's the only way I'll be able to persuade anything again.
Yeah.
So I think I am going to spend one of my persona points. Boop. And I'm going to spend 1 nature. And that allows me to add 4 dice.
Yes.
Okay, so that gives me +4 dice. So that's a 4 will plus 4 dice for Obs 3 will.
Weren't you using your thoughtful as well?
So I can only use it once, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm actually not going to.
Okay, I was just asking because you brought it up earlier. Okay,
right?
perfect.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like track all of the opportunities. Yeah, no, I think I'm not going to. I'm going to sit by the fire and sort of like maybe I'll deliver sort of a low, gentle sermon about the deeps and the works of these gods on Earth. So rather than retreating into my thoughtful nature, I'm retreating into my faith. Okay, so yeah, it's a test. I'm testing will. The skill rating is 4. I'm gaining 4 from my nature. The ob is 3. Submit. Successes 3. Whew, by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Cool. So now I get to remove the afraid condition?
Correct.
Okay, done.
Yeah, you see the fear subside.
Fantastic.
Is it your faith here that that kind of like assuages your fear?
Yeah. I mean, I think like I felt like an assault on my faith earlier, so rather than beginning to consider the option that the deep gods are not all powerful, instead I retreat further into that belief, and I'm just like, the ones
my
that
God.
they everything returns to them in the end. Even the woman, she will drown. Yeah, that sort of thing.
My immortal lord can beat up their immortal lord.
Exactly.
Yeah. Got it. Cool. Awesome. So then I think that's the only check we have. So then the grind resets to 4. You guys are up and going. If there was a rooster, it would crow. But certainly over here at nighttime, it gets pretty cold here. Especially you guys are sleeping outside. I even by a fire. I mean, it's dipping near like freezing or so. Like your breath is seen. You guys are shivering. Nothing to roll here. This is just frost on the ground when you wake up. It's a new day.
Yeah, and I think instead of being woken up by a rooster, everyone's woken up by Isensi doing the like massive like panic inhale as they wake up from a nightmare. They're just like like morning or something. Like just
is this something we're like
some token?
Is this something we're familiar with?
Probably happens, on the regular. She's like, oh yeah, they're having one of their like crazy nightmares. And I like mutter in this language that y'all don't speak. I'm just like cursing something. I like feel the ground underneath me and start collecting my things.
Do you mutter in Sansarin? I think is the name of the language. Sansarin?
Yeah, exactly.
Sansarin? Yeah. Where you're from? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Ermintrude, the world for Ermintrude is divided into 2 distinct categories. Shit she knows about, shit she doesn't know about. This falls into the former, so she's just like, whatever. Gets up and starts breaking down the camp. That's
nice. Cool. All right. It's you guys. It's on you guys. Tell me which way you guys want to go. You want to try to figure out where this goat is? You want to go talk to the lady again? Do you want to? You never got her name. But
the crone.
Do you just want to go to? You just want to go to town? Yeah. What do you guys want to do?
I feel like Ahab probably rises quite early, comparatively speaking. So by the time the other 2 are up, he's like standing his back to them, his arms crossed. By the time he hears Isensi's mourning and sort of nods. Then finally, as he hears Ermintrude stirring, he turns around. He says, "It seems as though we have 2 present options. 1, we make for Spider Peak. Search for the magic which is the source of these vines. 2, we actually do a service for the woman, recover her goat. But what is it she would give us if we did this for her?"
Do not make light of the favor of those who have power, Captain.
Power. And yet you speak a true. Much though I mislike it. Ermintrude, what say you, our stalwart and steady hog herder? He sort of chuckles.
I just I like visibly swallow back the retort, and I say, if we're to be adventuring through this territory at this woman's whim, we should at least get these fire ant remedies from her before we set out. I'd rather not wait for her to treat us after we have a problem.
Aye, it's true. In the morning's bright light, I had forgotten my unsettlement last night at the mention of these fire ants. Very well. The goat it is. Isensi, where think you we should search first?
Yeah, and they like bust out some ludicrous, like arcane instrument of navigation.
Nice.
And, like, sight of, get like the angle of the sun and all this other.
You're doing
nonsense.
like trigonometry in the dirt.
Yeah, I'm like making notes, but like this is all just stalling for time. Like this is
Nice.
all totally and I'm just like trying to like rack my brain of like where the fuck would this goat go?
I mean, there's a bunch of like hills and stuff like near the bluffs where you guys came down from. It could have been somewhere around there, right?
So I'm
or
looking
it
at
ran
my
into
skills.
the woods. It maybe went somewhere else, right?
I'm looking at my skills and I'm trying to think like if any of this is relevant. I have the only one that would let me know anything about like that I have is like a knowledge skill. I have scholar or lore master, but neither of those are about animals, right?
Yeah. A good skill that could come up here possibly would be hunter.
Something like hunter. Does anyone have hunter?
Survivalist?
I've got scout. That's the best I've got.
Okay, so I think the closest we have is probably scout.
Yeah, like sweeping the land.
And so maybe while Isensi is like dicking around, doing all this like ludicrous nonsense, maybe Ermintrude is just like rolling her eyes and like setting to work on actually accomplishing it.
Yeah, I think I would walk around like the perimeter of her cabin and see if I can see like definite fence broken, like see if I can find any trail of this thing. Insofar as scout would allow me to.
Yeah. No. Okay. So you guys, you wake up early and you go behind the house and you look around where the fence has been broken down. So this would be a small object. The location is that direction over there. We're looking at I think this would be an OB4 scout test to figure out where this thing is.
Okay. So
No, this isn't. Sorry. So like the scope of this scout test isn't like which direction it went. This is like, oh, it's probably up in these hills in this thing, right? Like this encompasses more than like this gets you there too and stuff like that, right?
Cool. So then it would be appropriate for me to maybe help with Pathfinder in that case.
Yeah.
Like help us. Get through.
Right. This would be you looking for it around and getting a good idea and touchstone and bearing, and like this covers everything. We're not doing like a little tiny clue here and there. This would be like the encompassing. Does that sound fair? If that sounds unreasonable, I mean, we can if you don't, we could do it strictly starting here to give you like an advantage for another roll. We could do it that way too, but that burns the grind.
Yeah. So I've got 2 dice in scout. Herein lies the problem, and I've got 1 die of help from Isensi's pathfinding.
Do you have a persona point?
I do. I do have one of those things, so I can add my nature, which is 5.
So it could be that finding this is important enough that Ermintrude's desire to prove herself plays out, right? And you spending a persona point.
Mm-hmm.
She buckles down, makes it happen. If you want to spend it. We can also just like bomb the roll. That's fine too. But I will lose my fresh condition, I guarantee you.
Yes, conditions. Let's. I feel like this is exactly the kind of task that Ermintrude would attach way too much significance to. Like, yes, this is finally I'm adventuring and I'm gonna find this goat because I'm good at things. I know I am, and this will prove to everyone that I can do things like find goats.
And it's like an opportunity to show me up as well, right? Because Ahab was like, "I sense you. Where's the goat?" And you're like, "I found the goat. The goat is this way."
It's like, guys, there's a pile of dung right here. Stop looking in the sky.
after Ahab was like, goat herder.
Yeah. So my skill in scout is 2. My modifiers are 5 for nature and 1 for Isensi's help.
Yep. And Ahab's staying out of it.
I got nothing. I could like ritualist our way to a goat or theologianize. Maybe goats have a particular goat god that they worship that leads them to certain. No, I got nothing.
Okay.
This goat is not of religious significance, no.
And I'm spending that persona. The ob is 4. And I bomb.
Oh my god.
Like horrendously, I bomb.
What a bad time.
Whoa. Okay.
horrendous.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
A sad day for goats everywhere.
So like
Imagery just walks off.
we start.
I'm like,
No.
but
So
what is a goat?
Yeah, like I've never actually seen a goat.
So
What are these serpent creatures?
Yeah, like you know, we start with Ahab kind of looking, you know, we're still at the fence looking for the stuff, and then we cut to this like wide open shot of you guys like on this like hill, and you know, your hands are like akimbo, being like, where the fuck? I have no what is going on right now? Like, where are we? There's no signs of these things. You've been following the wrong trail.
Nice.
You thought maybe you heard something and it was some goats. Nope. Coming out of the rocks and around you are several dire rats, who are hungry, looking for a meal as you guys are kind of like out in the middle of these hills.
I've seen chat mentioning your dire rats, Eric.
Mm-hmm.
Dire rats.
All right.
Also, chat is saying I need to drop my nature by 3.
Because you
by
tap
the
your nature,
margin of
right?
failure.
Yeah, you drop your nature by 3 by a margin of failure.
Okay, got it. Done.
Yeah, so you tap it,
takes a lot of
you would automatically
running
lose 1, and then, yeah, if you fail, I never even spoke to you guys about what happens when you fail. I'm sorry about that. I've just never seen anyone in Persona actually fail before. Sorry.
That was an amazing roll for all the
Yeah,
robbery.
that's a significant amount of 1s. Yeah,
Yeah.
So, yeah, dire rats. Nice little even number. 4. There's a big mama one, and you know the 3 little youngs. They're hungry, and you guys have a bunch of food in your packs. So, yeah. So, what are you guys gonna do here? This might be the first time we get to show off a little bit of our conflicts.
We sure do.
I have
Looks
a
like-
question.
Yeah, what's up?
What the F do all my spells do? This will color my willingness to participate in combat.
That's fair. Can you tell me the name of your spell?
I have 3 spells. I have Arcane Semblance, Word of Binding, and Wisdom of the Sages. Wisdom of the Sages, I recall, is like basically a magic detection kind of thing.
I mean, I don't want to say they're useless in combat, but I've certainly heard better spells. So here you go. Here's what you need to know, right? So you have Wisdom of the Sages, right? You know what Wisdom of the Sages does about language and knowledge and stuff like that, right?
Oh, and it lets me read any language, right?
I think so. As long as you cast it right, it's an obstacle. You also had what were the other ones?
Word of Binding?
Word of Binding.
That sounds pretty good. Sure, we can like bind these rats with a word.
That keeps things shut.
We should
Instead.
keep the rats.
It's not. It doesn't.
I shut all of their airways, and they
Yeah,
suck it.
exactly.
Yeah. So that's for like. Unfortunately, it only works for bonds, portals, and then how long it would be. You can't shut the mouth of something like that. That's outside the scope. Nice try though. I like where your head's at here. And then what was the last one? I'm sorry.
Arcane
Semblance? Yeah, that's like a disguise skill. Hold Portal is the analog from D&D for
The Word of Binding, like shuts and locks doors.
yeah, it's Hold Portal.
Doors, portals.
And Arcane Semblance is essentially like disguise self or alter self or whatever. You're a grade A magician, my friend.
Yo, I can do some magic, just not fighting magic.
Yeah. So let's.
We're doomed. We're dead.
Maybe we'll see. So here we are. We get to do some cool stuff with conflicts, and we get to see the conflict actions in play here. So I don't know where it is in the book for conflicts, but there is a list of conflicts, and I'm showing it on screen here. If you don't want to look in the book, there's a conflict rules handout that I have made in Roll20 that also can provide
Conflict weapons and compromises?
No, it's above that one.
And
It's conflict
conflict
rules.
rules.
Cool.
So the first thing that we're going to do here is the GM will determine the type of conflict based on the character's actions. Well, I can tell you what these things want, right? These things don't want to kill you. They just want to get in your packs and eat your stuff.
Well, clearly we're either trying to drive off or kill them.
I think drive off is
Yeah,
we're not
like
worth the food. Like we're too much work to get the food.
drive off.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there a way for us to know which one of those might be easier to do?
There is a hunter roll could let you know the properties and tenacities of dire rats.
Nope.
Nah, ain't got that.
No, we murder people who are in boats. Okay, Eric.
Yeah,
True.
that's what we do.
Boats
Or
have
people,
rats.
people who are in houses on shore-based towns.
Yeah. Also, this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gosh.
I think I read in the book that choosing to kill something also necessarily puts your life at stake as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
Yes.
It like raises.
It raises the stakes. It's called Killing is My Business, and it changes the scope and scale of compromises, which this game it tries to get out of conflicts. Mechanically, it's designed so you can also have it's conflicts are a way to distribute a resolution of a dial between being a binary option of succeed or failure. So what they can still have that, all or nothing, where your hit points or pool or whatever is maximum, the other person gets eliminated, and so it's a total win for you. But usually this determines like scale of compromise. Your hand is raised.
Cool.
I have a further question, which is so the rats want to like fight us or get at our stuff. We could choose to drive them off. We could choose to kill them. Can we also just like try to run away?
Yes.
And do a pursue or flee conflict?
Yes, you can. That is an option. Running from the rats is perfectly an acceptable option here. You could also try to. You could try. I don't think you could. I won't allow convincing a crowd. I won't also allow banish or abjure. I also won't allow trick or riddle because none of you guys can speak with rats.
Yeah, I think we're trying to either drive off or flee. I don't feel like Ahab is the type to flee from a bunch of rats. I feel like he would rather throw rocks. What do y'all think?
Ermentrude has been distinctly embarrassed by not being able to find a goat, but she's real good at smashing things and is eager to prove that.
Right on.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to try to fight them, even though Isensi would want to run. Would just be like, fuck this. Why are we fighting these rats? This is stupid.
My school didn't prepare me for this.
You're not afraid, are you, though? This is just not sensible. It's a waste of time to you, not that you're afraid.
Right,
you're not afraid, though.
Get dirty.
Yeah.
It would be bad in that way.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so then I think it sounds like we're going to do a drive-off conflict.
Yep.
Cool. So, I'm going to go ahead and mark here. Conflict type. Drive off. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to calculate our dispositions and figure out who our leader is for this. So one of you guys will be designated the conflict captain of the team here. You'll be responsible for distributing the quote-unquote hit points of the conflict, called your disposition, amongst people. You'll also be responsible for making the hard choices, and also you have final word over consensus for the group about what the actions happen. So that is what the conflict captain entails. Let's see.
Well, I've got a 2 in fighter, which isn't great, but it's a thing.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, a drive-off conflict. A drive-off uses a fighter roll, and you're going to be adding it to your health attribute. So you're not going to roll the attribute for health. You're just adding your fighter roll to the health score. In addition, you'll also be adding 1 for each person helping you. Once again, that's not die help, I believe. That is just score.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that gives me a 6 total with my 4 health.
Oh no, they do. They do have to roll. It says conflict captains roll for disposition.
Add dice.
Team members, you add dice. Thank you.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yeah, you're gonna start with 4 and then roll to get additional points. I don't know if maybe Ermentrude is better though.
Yeah.
I've got 5 health, 3 fighter.
Oh damn! Yeah. You are definitely our captain.
You're leading
this
the
is my
charge.
jam.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, where's this goat? I'm like, fuck this. Let's fight these rats. Really good at fighting things.
You know what we should be doing is driving off this damn goat.
True.
Yeah,
I would be able to do that. If a goat attacks, I got you. So yes, I think that's consensus. Okay. I'm sorry. So I'm rolling the sum total of my health, fighter skill. No.
You roll fighter.
Roll fighter.
And
Add
then
to health.
Yeah. Which I
Oh, I'm
definitely
muted.
would.
I somehow muted myself. Whoops. So
so if I don't have fighter, I can't help in the disposition roll.
So to generate your team's disposition, roll the appropriate listed ability, which would be health for us, and add the successes to the rank of the listed. Oh no! So roll the appropriate listed ability, which would be fighter for us, and add the successes to the rank of the listed base ability. Teammates may help with the listed ability or skill. So I am helping with fighter.
Right, and I would.
And you're helping with health. Okay.
So that gives you +2. So then you're rolling
5 total dice.
Yeah, and then you're adding that to your health.
Yes.
Got it.
For a
Okay.
maximum of 10, but realistically.
I'm testing fighter, which is a skill of 3, adding 2 modifiers.
0. Doesn't matter.
0.
Yeah.
God damn.
Whoa.
So bad at rolling.
Good lord.
So bad at this game, guys.
Well, we got a disposition of 6, so you know.
Well, that's the same as the
Point of order. You did roll 1-6, so if you spent a fate, you could maybe get a couple extra successes.
I don't have any.
Well, I don't know why I ever throw my lot in with you. It only ends in misery.
True.
It says Alex is saying you can't help with health on a fighter roll, but I'm pretty sure it says if you don't have fighter, isn't that under relevant help?
I mean, it says teammates may help with the listed ability or skill. So skill would be fighter and ability would be health. So.
Yeah, but I think that's
because none of them list a stat. Like they're all skills for the roll part.
Yeah.
None of them do you roll like will or health for.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
well, I'm gonna let it slide here. It didn't help anyways.
Yeah.
So
honestly, if she re-rolls, she's probably gonna get better than 1 success.
I know, right?
So we're keeping it. Well, I made a mistake, but we're gonna keep it there. So you're adding 1 to your health score of 5 for your disposition of 6. So the next thing
none of us are hungry and thirsty, right?
Correct.
Correct.
None of us are exhausted.
Correct.
And you're no longer afraid. You guys are all good except just not fresh.
Yep.
Okay, so the conflict captain here is Ermintrude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal you. Actually, I'm going to deal you a bunch of cards here. Okay. You should have gotten a bunch of cards in your inventory.
On my character sheet.
Cards in your underneath
Like in
your
Roll20.
name in Roll20.
Under my name.
Or above your name, I'm sorry. Right above, at the bottom.
Yeah, I see it now.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool. Yeah, I know. It's a weird thing. Okay, so you have a bunch of cards. There should be multiple copies of 4 different cards. And what we're going to be doing here is now we're going to be scripting our actions for these in turns of 3. So the 4 available options here are attacking, defending, feinting, and maneuvering. Each of those does something different, and in a sort of rock paper scissors way, what you select. So attack versus attack is different than attack versus defend in terms of the results, or attack versus feint is different. So it's sort of like a rock paper scissors effect of us comparing our scripted events. This is based off Burning Wheels Duel of Wits, which I just did today for the first time, finally. So it's like I get it, I get where this came from, but I have plenty of experience with these conflicts. What you just because this is your guys' first game of Torchbearer, I will warn you here. I see this every time people do conflicts the first time. Don't defend as your first action, because defending only improves your disposition, and if your disposition's at full health, it doesn't do anything.
Nice.
But if you do want to defend, well, I caution you about using defend, because if I was like to attack or something like that, then it would be a versus test, and whoever wrote the highest score wins. But it doesn't like heal you up. It doesn't do what you probably think it does. Is what I'm trying to get at.
You can't
early
exceed your starting disposition.
Yeah.
By
So
defending.
Right.
Realize
But
that.
you can recover disposition by defending down the line once you've already.
Yeah, like it's a very common thing that happens, and I just wanted to bring that up. So, I mean, now that I said that, though, I might be attacking first, and you never know. So actually, what happens now, while you guys are going to be consulting and deciding what moves you want to make, I get to lay down my cards before you guys do.
Yeah, we shouldn't say anything until Eric has chosen.
Yeah, like you guys could say stuff, but
we're gonna do nothing but feint Eric.
So also, so you guys are doing a drive off conflict. So for purposes of narrated and fictional stuff, we should, 1, set what's at stake here. 2, what an attack and stuff kind of would look like, or maneuver would kind of look like, or defend or feint would kind of look like. So for example, when you're attacking, when you're fleeing is actually just fucking booking it. You know, like it's attacking is the most direct way to your goal. Right? I'm doing the directing to my goal. Maneuvering is I'm doing something that will improve my direct way to the goal. Defending is I am bolstering myself in order to go to my goal later. And feinting is I am going to outthink the bolstering that the other person's going to do and score a decisive blow. So, Doop. Okay, my 3 cards are down. I won't reveal them. I'm just gonna make them larger so they can fit nice and easy in these squares that I've made. Now you guys will talk amongst each other about what your actions are going to look like, or what they're going to be. So, yeah.
So I feel like these rats, they're probably just rats. They're probably not very smart. They're probably just going to be either attacking or maneuvering.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like feinting probably isn't great because they're probably just going to be attacking.
My instinct would be to attack first.
Yeah.
And just try and be loud and scary. I know, like, the fictional whatever doesn't matter mechanically, but I feel like that's what I would do first.
So play it against an attack or a feint is an independent test. Defend or maneuver, it's a versus test. So do we think they're going to be maneuvering or attacking first? I feel like if they were like rats, I feel like they're just going to book it and try to get it what they want.
Opening with an attack is very common.
Yeah, I feel like attacking first is a good strategy.
I also get an extra die on an attack.
Yeah, because of the weapon.
For my war.
Oh, that's a good point. So, Conflict Captain, there's 3 of you. You get to there's 3 scripted events. One person will be doing each of these events. Also, we describe what you are equipping for your turn when it comes to your turn, because that can influence sort of like what you can get, like, you know, plus die for whatever maneuver or plus success or something like that. So that's important. And then, so Conflict Captain, you'll describe who's going in what order, right?
Got it.
So also, in terms of disposition, distribution, I think then we each are all going to have 2, right? So the rats though will have it a little bit differently. So your group HP is 6, but then that gets broken down into different people. So since there's 2 though, do you want it evenly? 2?
I think even is fine.
Okay.
Team.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be rubbish at this, but that's okay.
Okay.
Like, my weapon is not helpful in any way, and I don't have fighter. So I am best at defending, because that uses just will.
Yeah.
Or maneuvering. So I'll be trying to set up for y'all to do good stuff.
Is maneuver use will too?
Yes. So attacking and feinting is fighter, and maneuver and defend are with will.
Okay. So I think broad strategy, I would attack. I sense he is probably trying to flank with the maneuver. And what is Ahab doing?
I mean, I've got fighters, so I'm pretty good at attacking.
And what kind of weapon do you have?
Flail, which I was trying to look up to see what that does, but I failed.
Flail is -1 die to defense and +1 die to feint.
And
Nice.
ignore shields.
And ignore
Nice.
shields.
So yeah, I mean, I could feint.
Feint is good if they're going to defend.
Right.
Against an attack, you will lose your action, so it's real bad.
Yep.
And then it's a versus test against... Or no, it's independent for maneuver. Is that how feint works? Yeah.
That's listed on the conflict rules page in the bottom right. That gives you the result of resolution effects. I actually never explained this to you guys. Thank you for this. So an attack versus an attack is independent. What that means is that you both do damage to each other. There's no ablating it. Attack versus defending is a versus test. The person who wins deals damage equal to the margin of success over your over the opponent, right? Blank line means you don't get to do anything. And
I mean, I think a feint is probably strong at some point in here.
It's good against defends and maneuvers. So
Yeah.
if we think they're just going to script like attack, 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 then we don't want to feint. But if they're like attack, maneuver, attack, then we want to script our feint in the second volley.
Let's do that.
I think that's a good plan. Attack, feint. Attack. But then we don't.
That would be me
Yeah,
attacking, which I would be bad at. But
Somebody.
Yeah. Here's something else to keep in mind. When you're doing a conflict, when it's your turn in the conflict, other people can still help you, just like any other role. So we can all describe, the describe to live comes into play. We're all describing kind of what's going on in the scene, and then we reveal and we do the rolls and we kind of resolve it, and then go to the next volley and resolve it, and we keep going until one of our dispositions hits 0, and once that or less than 0. And once that happens, we look to the compromises to happen. But you guys are doing a drive-off conflict, and I also just want you guys to remember, in terms of doing the math and doing these verses here, order of might comes into play, I believe, for a drive-off conflict. You guys have a higher order of might than these rats.
So we get free successes against them.
When you succeed, you will succeed greater. You don't automatically get it. It's only when you win, you win more. Is the easiest way to think about it.
Yeah, so we get like bonus successes if we succeed.
Yeah. So I want to make Mama Rat here have 3, and then the rest have 1.
Okay, so just to recap, we are doing attack, feint, attack, Urban Shrewd, Ahab, then, or do you want to do the feinting?
Make me a defend at the third volley.
Okay, so attack, defend.
Attack, feint, defend. Is
Attack,
what it
feint,
sounds like?
defend? Okay.
I'm
With
better
Ahab
at feinting. I can still attack, but I'm better at feinting.
So attack, feint, defend, and that is Ermentrude, Ahab, ICC. And I don't think I can. Oops.
I can resize them for you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, cool.
No, it's okay. I'm just used to being able to do whatever I want, and I'm a player.
You are no longer the boss.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to my house, trying to rearrange my cards. Awesome. Okay. So now we're ready to engage in our first volley. So we're both going to flip over. Oh wait a sec. Who's the first person acting right now? Is it you? Okay, cool.
Ermentrude.
Then is it Eisensee? Then is it Ahab? Just so I know. It doesn't matter. I can't change my cards.
Ahab, Eisensee.
Okay. Cool. So let's go ahead and flip our cards. Maneuver.
Right click, flip card. There we go.
Okay, so we have an attack versus a maneuver. I believe this is a versus test. Let me just make sure real quick.
Yeah.
Attack versus maneuver is a versus test. So we're both going to be going here. So what does this look like? The rats skitter out. They kind of catch you by surprise a little bit as they proceed to kind of like circumvent you. The mom gets in front of you, Eisensee. Her mandibles. Her what do you call the front molar? Not molars. I don't know. Her teeth are
incisors.
incisors. Her incisors are exposed, hissing. You can see her rib cage, like she's like hungry, right? Like she's been sleeping for a while, right? She looks famished, and she hisses at you, and you see her little young, kind of like scurry around and try to like engulf you guys to get at everyone else. What do you guys? That's sort of like what my maneuver looks like right now. What is your attack going to look like?
So I brandish my warhammer and like let out this like ululating dwarf battle cry and run up and try to smash one of them with it. It looks kind of whack-a-mole-y. Maybe not the most intimidating thing since I'm fighting rats, but I try to be.
Is your battle cry the Xena battle cry?
Exactly, yes.
Yes.
It is exactly that sound that I can't make.
Cool.
But imagine it.
Yeah, so let me just...
Feared across the seas.
Yes.
Let me just make sure how Order of Might gets factored in here. Does it show you on this one? No. Order of Might... I'm pretty sure Order of Might factors into a drive-off conflict. I'll let chat mention that, if not. But, yeah. So you're using your Warhammer for... And that gives you, what, an additional die or additional success?
Additional die.
Okay, so now we're getting ready to make our versus test here, and we're going to be doing this at the same time, so we don't get to see what each other's roles are here, so we can factor in as much as we can and put as much power and punch into this as we want. At this point, though, I get to declare what the rats' weapons are, right? Let me go look at the rats real quick. I know they have something for maneuver. Yeah. Oh, man. So they're Underworld Dweller. So what does that look like? I think the babies maybe come out, and so like the mom comes out here, and then like the babies kind of like come out from like underneath rocks on other locations that like you didn't think had like tunnels underground. So they kind of like use the underground tunnels to their advantage here as they come out and scurry. So yeah, they're going to be attacking here with live bodies. So oh, that's even more different than I thought. Oh, whoops. Okay, well they start doing that, but you find them that they can like turn their bodies in like almost like a serpentine way. They're very agile in the rocks. They feel very at home here in this uncomfortable terrain. So let's go ahead and start making our dice pools here.
Okay, so I am testing fighter. I have
I'm helping.
Skill of 3 in fighter. So modifiers, I have 1 die from Ahab.
I can't help.
Can I take a die for Delver, being someone that is underground a lot? Is that something I'm allowed to do? Even?
So you've like fought rats before in your dwarven halls?
Yeah, if they're underworld dwellers, so am I. So
yeah, I mean you fought rats before. You've probably seen rats. That makes sense. I'll give that to you here, Underworld Dweller. I mean, what's the difference between fighting above ground and underground against these rats, right? You're used. It's more about experience. It's less about the idea of being underground here. It's that you've encountered rats before being an underground dweller.
Yeah,
so,
and they can only come up. They can't come from above. So it's easier.
So let me see.
So it's 2.
Yep. Help traits here. 2 plus 3 other people helping them.
And then the ob is 0.
Yes. We ready?
Yes. Oh no, because I'm terrible at everything.
Okay. Well, I got 5 successes.
What the shit?
Okay. Well,
that's horse shit.
It's just a maneuver. It's not the worst thing in the world. Maneuvers can give me a lot of things. I can get enough points equal to the difference of the results here. So I got 5 successes, so I have a difference of 4. So I have essentially 4 things I can do with maneuvers right now going forward. Looking over here at the chart, maneuver. Yeah, so they really get the jump on you guys. They dart around lightning fast.
My hammer is just way too slow.
Yeah. The mom steps back. You just turn like a nice chunky sandstone just into just dust obliteration. It like bounces back. It hisses. It's what do you call the thing behind the fat behind its neck or whatever? Like it raises. You know what I mean?
It's hackle.
Yeah, it's hackle. It's all furled. It's out. Its whiskers are all like old. It's got like gray around its mouth. It's like an older mom. It's like the den mother rat. So let's go ahead and see. The margin of success was 4 here. Oh boy. Yeah. I mean, I can and I will. So I will spend my margin of success here of 3. I will spend it disarming your warhammer. As it comes down, it gets stuck in the rocks and like the ground. It gets jammed in. You try to pull it up. It's hissing at you, and it jumps in front of you as like trying to pounce. You have to let it go as it gets in front of you. So now you don't have your warhammer. You are considered unarmed right now.
Got it.
So it's rendered. So is disarmed you. You remove your opponent's weapon, a piece of gear, or disable a trait for the remainder of the conflict. I'm removing your warhammer for the duration of this conflict.
You're gonna have to punch him.
Yes. And
yeah, so I make this like war cry and immediately like slam my hammer into this crevice.
Yeah, Rat Mom ain't younger on the line here. They're hungry. She's got mouths to feed. And then I have one more point left over, and that gets spent as impeding, which means I have a minus die disadvantage to your opponent's next action.
Nice.
So they scored a tremendous opening volley against you guys.
Yeah, let me guess. You've scripted an attack as your second action into our feint, and we're gonna...
Yeah, we're about to get wrecked.
So let's go ahead and flip our cards here.
I've clicked the thing. There you go.
Flip. There we go.
Rip.
Yeah, so everybody at home, attack versus feint is the last thing you want. An attack is the last thing you want to see when you're feinting. Yeah, so an attack just gets an unimposed roll here. But I want to hear from Steven what this looks like, because then I will tell you how I beat it.
So I think like Barbosa was expecting them to just run in towards Ermintrude, and he was like sidestepping around. So like he was sidestepping around, and like the mama was going around one way, like, and he was like, "I'm gonna get you." And then he like sets a foot down, and there's like 3 rats right there behind his foot, and he's like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, you remember how you were mentioning the crawling feeling of a cat on your leg? Yeah, that's
what I think.
Like behind you on your calf, right? Yeah.
That's very familiar.
Yeah, they like run up your legs.
Yeah. Well, the good news is how Chats brought out the bright side here. The impede didn't do anything, so. Yep. So baby rats get to go here. They are fighting off with their sharp incisors as they try to go into your packs and up your legs. So let's go ahead and roll. Why am I using the die here when I have this convenient macro by Fake Alex Blue? Attack, starting with 2. 3 of them are helping, and they get 1 extra thing for their weapon. They are armed with sharp incisors for their attack.
God.
So,
and this is why we should have never left the waters.
3 successes. So these are unabashed successes. They just immediately eat into your disposition.
Ow.
So
it's half our fucking disposition.
It
Holy
is.
Shit.
Conflict Captain, Trist,
yes.
You have the pleasure of reducing people's dispositions. This is how it works. Ahab's disposition has to take the first blow. When there's all of that is gone, you get to choose who else got hurt. It's actually not Isaac. Yeah, it's Barbosa goes down in this blow.
Yeah, Barbosa is down.
When it's your move and you get hit with disposition, you have to eat the disposition pie first before it gets distributed to other people's faces.
It was a delicious pie. I would eat it again.
So Barbosa gets swarmed by rats.
Yeah.
And it's just like, get off of me.
I'm freaking the fuck out.
Here's something you need to keep in mind here. I just did 3 points of damage. There are some ways to ablate some of this damage.
Okay.
Look at I would if you guys are wearing any type of armor, there's a method of reducing damage.
AKA my shield.
Shield could come into effect as well.
Okay, well, I'm wearing leather armor, and I also have a shield, so let me just, where in the book is equipment?
Conflict weapons and compromises are here. Those are weapons. These doesn't give you...
Let's see.
The delicious
39.
armor part.
Let's see.
Basically, you're going to have to be rolling a die to see if your armor soaks the blow and if it gets destroyed, essentially, or, chewed up.
Okay, so my shield on defend gives me +2 die, but not really anything else. Right, and then I also have leather armor. And you were saying that I have to roll in order to see if that does anything for me.
So, yes. So here's what you need to do. Because I achieved a successful attack roll against you, you may invoke the leather armor's properties here and roll a d6. On a 4+, you reduce the attack or feint by 1 success.
You can only do it once per fight.
Booyah!
Cool. So you save that 1 point from someone else.
So I soak all of the damage, I'm out, but nobody else gets hurt.
Yes.
Cool.
The thing about leather is that it's durable, so it actually can't break like chain or helmet or anything like that.
Yeah,
but
I can only do it once per fight, but it doesn't get destroyed.
Yeah, don't you also have a shield or some sort?
I do, but it seems like the shield only gives me a +2 dice on defense.
Yeah, if you're equipping a shield. Okay.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Cool. So your disposition's actually 4 because you reduced my success by 1. So there we go. But you are out of the fight. So now it goes to...
I'm flailing at the rats on my back for the rest of
as the babies are crawling into your pack, and you in fact you're trying to get your pack, maybe like flailing them off and hitting them. We all see little rat tails in your backpack right now.
Yeah, and I'm grabbing them and pulling them out.
Yeah, totally. Let's flip our cards for the last volley here, and then we go around and do the next one.
Of course, I fucking knew this would happen.
Oh my god!
I just knew it.
Oh man, that's not...
maneuver was the first thing. I was like, it's shit's
so I just
These rats were smarter than we anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah, have fun, Eric. Just do your thing. It's cool.
Okay, I get just to do my thing and get to narrate it again.
I think I sense he goes to help Ahab, and then it's just and
they have already swarmed up his leg. The baby rats have already triggered their ploy, and they're already in their packs getting in it. In fact, you probably back up and you feel the sense that your backpack's heavier than you thought, and there's one in yours. These rats are just everywhere. They're impossibly fast. Yeah, so I just get to make my attack free. I'm testing my feint. There are also this baby one's attacking with its sharpened scissors here. Oh, that's a good point too. You guys probably we didn't mention this. I assumed you guys dropped your backpacks at the start of this because fighting with a backpack's actually a factor and makes things more difficult. But don't worry about it. 2. So 3 of them are helping. So that's immediately 3, and then 1 additional die because of their weapon, sharpened scissors. So that should be right. It should be 6 dice. Yes, I got 4 successes.
So we're just out.
No, because you guys have the this is against Eisensee. Do you have armor to resist this of any kind?
No.
Oh, what?
I can't wear armor.
Oh, that's right. There's no way to ablate this, is there?
Nope.
No, we're just out. We're done.
Well, I just wrecked you guys.
Basically just flee.
I wrecked you guys with 0 compromise.
Yeah.
So they eat all of our food.
You know how I just said that, but in this niche case, you could totally get a compromise. Well, sorry, guys. Yeah. So welcome to Giant Rat Town.
Yeah.
Team Rat Mom scores a extreme victory, a moral victory, if you could. Yeah. Boy. You guys lose. Okay, so I have. Yeah, you guys lost your packs. You just don't have your packs. They are given to the rats as you guys flee, scratched and beat up.
Well, okay, so wait, no, because their goal is to eat all of the food in our packs, I believe you said.
Yeah.
So would it be that they've like torn the bottoms out and gotten our food, or like pulled the food out of the packs?
Yeah, surely we could like run away and watch them eat all our food and then come back and get the packs. Because they're not going to eat the torches or thieves' tools, but they are going to eat my preserved rations.
Yeah, they will leave them there. But yeah, no, yeah, your packs are ripped up as you guys flee. Your packs are ripped up. They are just... You don't even know that their current state as you guys rush back down the hill as fast as you can. Here's the question, though. You guys are totally routed. Do you fall back the way you came? Or do you guys just fucking rush it into somewhere else?
We just rush.
Yeah, so...
I'm trying to look at rats on our backs. We've got rats on our backs, boys. Let's get out of here.
And I'm trying to... So, like... You guys didn't score any compromise, so I want to see how far I can screw with you, basically, at this point.
We got wrecked.
Yep.
That is... You certainly did get wrecked, and so I'm trying to see here real quick just how much no compromise is. They just achieve what they sought out to do, which is get their packs. But, you know... Okay, so I guess the best thing to think of while I'm looking at this is we should go to break, because we're at our hour mark anyways. So I'll figure it out, and we'll go back, and we'll be back in 5 minutes. So, boom. Good timing. All right.